Have you heard?
It's all the rage.
The wit, the sense, the
jokes.
I chortled.
I guffawed.
I laughed until I choked.
Put down your cell phone, turn off the Xbox, just for a short while, and join us for something your great-grandmother might have laughed at, or perhaps blushed at, From famous authors to long-lost gems, Edwardian Entertainments explores the short stories of a past century, wherever they may be found. Tonight, the illustrious John Kendrick Bangs has contributed a heartwarming tale for Christmas, The Water Ghost of Harrowby Hall.
I'm terribly charmed to meet you. I've never danced with a lord before. Makes me feel like a lady.
You're lucky I'm also a gentleman. Not every lord can claim that.
Oh, you.
You're in London with friends?
I'm a guest of the Harrisons. Daddy thought a trip to England would be nice polish. He's very impressed by nobilities.
I'm sure.
Goodness, your parties go late over here. I'm afraid you must think I'm terribly provincial.
Oh, no, never.
My dress! Oh!
Just clear out, everyone, please.
Oglethorpe. Oglethorpe.
Yes?
Hello?
It's all over but the blotting. Safe to come in.
Oh, my.
I'll take care of any repairs.
Towel? I also brought you a robe, but we haven't even been properly introduced yet.
Henry Oglethorpe. Baron Harrowby, I suspect.
Leslie Widdrington, poor relation.
I've just come into a great deal of money.
How's that?
My father must have died, or this would have happened to him.
Ah. Ancestral curse.
Well, you're curiously sanguine about it.
Well, it's not my ballroom. Come along, let's get you out of this damp. Perhaps a hot bath would be in order? The trouble with Harrowby Hall is that it was haunted. What was worse, the ghost did not content itself with merely appearing at the bedside of the afflicted person who saw it, but persisted in remaining there for one mortal hour before it would disappear.
My father had a flowery turn of phrase.
A style that suits the classic ghost story. You're quite sure you don't mind?
I need to confide in someone, and he's already written it all down. But you can skip past the part about it appearing only for an hour every Christmas at midnight. I think we've established that.
You're lucky you didn't catch pneumonia.
I'm still undecided. At least one good thing came from the deluge.
Oh?
I needed a secretary.
I suppose it pays to be intrepid, then. The owners of Harrowby Hall had done their utmost.
Sounds good.
Their utmost to rid themselves of the damp and dewy lady who rose up out of the best bedroom floor at midnight, but without avail. They had tried stopping the clock so that the ghost would not know that it was midnight, but she made her appearance just the same, with that fearful miasmatic personality of hers, and there she would stand until everything about her was thoroughly saturated.
Oh, we've done absolutely everything. Or tried to. My own grandfather caulked up every crack in the floor, covered it with tar paper. Every conceivable kind of waterproofing was put into effect. And yet...
But you weren't even in the tower room.
It's all in the manuscript.
At least it will be another year until she makes an appearance.
There is a great deal to be said for predictability.
The following Christmas Eve, she appeared as promptly as before and frightened the occupant of the room.
Well, that wasn't even one of my forefathers, just an unfortunate guest.
Frightened him quite out of his senses by sitting down alongside of him and gazing with her cavernous blue eyes into his, and her long, aqueously bony fingers were entwined with bits of dripping seaweed. These ends she drew across his forehead until he became like one insane.
I believe he never recovered from the shock, or the damp, or perhaps the cold, and died several years later of pneumonia and nervous prostration.
Then comes a year they chose not to open the room at all.
"Let her haunt the room, she'll not haunt me," Father railed, or so I've been told.
Didn't work, though, did it?
No. Apparently the room is only the primary target. If there is no one present to receive her, the current lord will always have a visitor.
Thus the monsoon in the ballroom?
Father didn't even tell me he was doing poorly. A little warning would have been convenient. I could have spent the night in a desert.
What do you plan to do?
Foil her.
How?
That I do not quite know. Yet. I need to go over Father's manuscript with a fine-tooth comb for any possible clues. Anything can be overcome with the application of a modicum of logic.
Well then, shall we get back to it?
Go back to the year Father tried to simply ignore the ghost. Now, it seems she first appeared in the tower room, for the parlour below had a great damp spot on the ceiling, but she didn't stay there.
She found me in my own cosy room drinking whiskey undiluted, he notes, and felicitating myself upon having foiled her ghost ship, when all of a sudden the curl went out of my hair, the whiskey bottle filled and overflowed, and I found myself in a condition similar to that of a man who has fallen into a water butt.
Father always did have a turn of phrase, and a fondness for water butts. And there she stood, the lady of the cavernous eyes and seaweed fingers.
The sight was so unexpected and so terrifying that I fainted, but immediately came to as the vast amount of chill water trickling down over my face restored my consciousness.
I like a good shower bath as much as the next person, but I do prefer it on the tropical side of tepid.
Hush.
My father was a brave man, and not to be daunted. Forced to face the ghost, he determined to discover some particulars.
In an effort to warm myself, I approached the hearth. An unfortunate move, as it turned out, because it brought the ghost directly over the fire, which immediately was extinguished.
So he faced her with all the bravado he could muster.
Sounds like he was chock-a-block with bravado, at least the way he wrote it.
Let us hope it runs in the family.
He faced the ghost.
Far be it from me to be impolite to a woman, madam, but I'm hanged it wouldn't please me better if you'd stop these infernal visits of yours to this house. Go sit out on the lake, if you like that sort of thing. Soak the water butt if you wish, but do not, I implore you, come into a gentleman's house and saturate him and his possessions in this way. It is damn disagreeable.
Henry Hardwick Oglethorpe, that is a bit of specious nonsense. You must know that I am compelled to haunt this place year after year by inexorable fate. I never aspired to be a shower bath, but it is my doom. Do you know who I am?
No, I do not. I should say you were the Lady of the Lake, or Little Sally Waters.
You are a witty man for your years.
Well, my humour is drier than yours ever will be.
No doubt, I am never dry. I am the water ghost of Harrowby Hall, and dryness is a quality entirely beyond my wildest hope. I have been the incumbent of this highly unpleasant office for 200 years tonight.
How the deuce did you ever come to get elected?
Suicide. I am the ghost of that fair maiden whose picture hangs over the mantelpiece in the drawing room.
That lovely early Georgian piece, or do I mean Jacobean?
Take down a memorandum. Draw a moustache on her at the earliest opportunity.
Had I lived, I should have been your great-great-great-great-great-aunt.
But what induced you to get this house into such a predicament?
It was my father's fault. It was he who built Harrowby Hall, and the haunted chamber was to have been mine. My father had it furnished in pink and yellow, knowing well that blue and grey formed the only combination of colours I could tolerate.
And?
He did it merely to spite me, and I declined to live in the room. Whereupon my father said I could live there or on the lawn. He didn't care which. That night I ran from the house and jumped over the cliff into the sea.
That was rash.
Dying over pink and yellow? I should say so. Green and orange, perhaps.
But only if one is Irish.
Had I but known the consequences, I should not have jumped.
A bit late for hindsight.
I had been drowned but a week when I was informed it would be my doom to haunt Harrowby Hall.
Informed? Informed by who?
Never considered it. The local union of apparitions, phantoms, and sundry visitations?
I'll sell the place.
Sound thinking.
Why, that you cannot do, for it is also required of me that I shall appear to any purchaser and divulge to him the awful secret of the house.
Oh, snap.
Do you mean to tell me that on every Christmas Eve you are going to haunt me wherever I may be, ruining my whiskey and extinguishing my fire? And soaking me through to the skin?
You have stated the case clearly, Oglethorpe, and what is more, it doesn't make the slightest difference where you are. If I find that room empty, wherever you may be, I shall douse you with my spectral presence.
Here the clock struck 1, and immediately the apparition faded away. It was perhaps more of a trickle than a fade, but as a disappearance it was complete.
By St. George and his dragon! It is Guinness to hot cross buns that next Christmas there'll be an occupant of that room, or I shall spend the night in a bathtub!
He would have lost that bet. That was last year, and this year, well, he passed away just in time to avoid the deluge.
And you didn't know. And we are now caught up to the present.
But for the bill of the ballroom.
So glad you could accommodate me for tea, Edward. I've not returned to society yet, and I'm getting sick to the teeth of a house covered in black crepe.
Ah!
Your father positively loathed black.
Aha!
And I loathe crepe. I've developed quite a mental aversion to it. I don't suppose a doctor could furnish me with some sort of prescription.
I doubt it. Morning is morning, Mother, and you are hardly the only one inconvenienced by Father's untimely demise.
Yes, I heard.
You might have sent a wire or something.
I was rather preoccupied. So, now that you are the Baron, am I to expect the pitter-patter of little feet in the great hall any time soon?
I could get you some corgis.
Hush! You know very well what I mean. It is your responsibility to produce an heir and a spare, particularly now that you are effectively the last of the line.
It would be funny to find out who gets haunted should I die early.
I should say not.
Anyway, after my very public unmasking as the bearer of an ancestral curse, there's hardly a family worth knowing that would want me as a graft to the family tree.
There's always some rich American. They'll even pay extra for such a heritage.
While an American won't bat an eye at a spectre or two true. Threaten them with a waterlogged pare or partout, and they flee in panic, clutching their pocketbooks.
Oh, yes, I see.
So, I'm down to shop assistants and ladies who speak no English.
Here's your correspondence for the day. Oh, I'm so dreadfully sorry. I wasn't aware. I don't have any engagements on your calendar for this afternoon.
Miss Widrington, may I present my mother? the Dowager Baroness of Harrowby. Mother, my new secretary.
Charmed.
I'll be in the study then, sir, should you need me, if I may excuse myself.
Dismissed.
Who is she?
My secretary.
Witherington. Any relation to the Havisham Witheringtons?
Poor relation. Quite destitute.
Still, she's got a good back. Does she ride?
So sorry about that.
You couldn't have known.
It's dreadfully easy to fall into old habits.
Old?
I wasn't always. How you see me now. Impoverished. I was polished at the finest schools, only to find that the family coffer had been tapped out to pay death duties and father's debts. And that, as they say, was that.
At least you're not bitter. And now?
Now, I am employed.
And you don't mind?
Well, I'm also intrigued by your dilemma. Most particularly because it's not my own. But today's problem is your social calendar.
Oh, more cancellations?
Every dinner party, every engagement for the opera, every ball.
Everything that might possibly involve late nights, in other words.
Precisely. But there are still afternoon teas, ascot, and a tentative engagement for croquet.
Suddenly I'm an elderly uncle.
Time?
Yes.
I brought some heated towels.
I am parboiled. I'll need more than towels.
Chekhov steam pipes.
Yes, just turned her from cold water to hot. The Turkish baths for the past month seem to have helped a bit, but on the whole it was...
A washout?
Oh, please, don't.
I thought that since steam pipes could lie hundreds of feet in water and still retain sufficient heat to drive the water away in vapour, they might...
It was a good sight better than any of my ideas. Trying to evaporate the ghost into steam.
Now you have a year to plan. Again.
I don't know. I doubt my health can take another such night and the room is destroyed. Again. Anything not simply soaked through has been cracked and warped to an extent that I've no doubt it will break me to repair.
Heat can do terrible things. Tea.
Worst of all, as the last drop of the water ghost was slowly sizzling itself out on the floor, she whispered that this scheme would avail me nothing because...
There is always water in great plenty where I come from, and next year we'll find me rehabilitated and exasperately saturating as ever.
She will always be wet. So I must somehow be dry.
Must they be so loud?
At least I can tell they're working.
So it happened again?
You can't be surprised. Well, you had to go through it, didn't you, with Father?
Oh, no. No, I didn't even know about it for quite years.
How the devil?
Language.
I'll devil as I please until I get what I want.
When your father inherited the title. After his father died of pneumonia, as I recall.
Imagine!
Hush! It was in the spring, and Henry somehow managed to pick a dreadful quarrel with me, something that sent me flying home to Mother for the holidays.
Truly? That was clever.
And I believe there was a year where he had to take a business trip.
To the tropics, by any chance?
May very well have been. I believe I spent the holidays with my sister in town.
And he kept this up for years and years?
Well, you were away at school for much of this.
No wonder he never had me home for the winter holidays. I was rather bereft at the time.
He sent presents.
Much appreciated, but...
So, what are you doing about this?
I tried steam pipes. That's what they are engaged in repairing upstairs at the moment, and...
Not that. What are you doing about providing me with a brace of grandchildren to brighten my declining years?
Oh, that. Oh.
A catalogue of some sort? Oh,
What's the joke?
a catalogue of gentlemen's garments?
Hmm.
In the finest quality India rubber?
Oh, that. Well, it's not what you,
I would assume they're for waterproofing, except that many of them seem to be excised in certain occasions.
skip to the back. They assured me there would be more complete units.
So you're thinking...
If I can't keep the room dry, at least I might be able to keep my person insulated.
If you were to wear one of these over something in wool, perhaps.
I would start to look like a child in swaddling.
Better swaddled than soaked.
True.
And it would be warm, even if wet.
Wouldn't want to get cold, I mind. Oh,
Oh,
I've got it.
do tell.
Order me one of those a size bigger than my suits, and in their thickest rubber. Then another 2 sizes larger.
Why?
I'll let you guess. I must go and consult a furrier.
That sounds like it will precisely fill the bill. And everything is reinforced with asbestos?
You have the address to ship to? Excellent. I realise it will take a prodigious amount of power to maintain. If necessary, I shall buy the power company.
Woolens. 2 sizes larger than I had originally inquired. Yes, the warmest you have. Oh, no. He likes it thick.
No, the first set was quite satisfactory. Please place my order and refrain from further comment on my proclivities. I've come to hate that music.
This may be the last time it calls to mind such misfortunes. I've stitched the wool together at the waist. Oh, too bad your valet can be no help.
Oh, he demanded this week off. No wish to be anywhere in the entire country when the ghost arrives.
Some people simply do not pay attention. The ghost only makes a bother in a given vicinity for a given time.
Well, logic has nothing to do with superstitious fear. Let's see if the second rubber suit will go on.
I've brought talc.
You plan for everything, don't you?
That's why you keep me around. Although I must say you are the master planner here. Fur, then rubber, then wool, and rubber again. She shan't be able to get a drop of her icy dampness near you.
No, indeed. Have you noticed? Is it still snowing?
There are great drifts on the windward side of the house, though the wind has died away.
Excellent.
When this is all over, you can focus on finding yourself a bride and satisfying your poor mother.
Yes.
Now, the diving helmet.
Oh, that is a bit tight. Right on time.
Greetings. You must know you cannot avoid me by hiding here in... What is this room anyway?
It is called a mud room, and I'm not hiding. In fact, I'm glad to see you.
You are the most original man I've met, if this is true. And what an odd hat.
It is a little portable observatory I had made for just such engagements as this. Is it true that you are doomed to follow me for one mortal hour? To stand where I stand, to sit where I sit?
That is my detestable fate.
Let's go for a walk then?
You cannot get rid of me that way. My water does not wear out with movement of any sort. I will merely damage more of your home.
Then we will not walk through the house. Come on.
But, my dear sir, it is fearfully cold out there. You should be frozen hard before you've been out 10 minutes.
Oh, not I. I am very warmly dressed. Come along.
Oh, sir, you walk too slowly. I am nearly frozen.
Is that so?
My knees are so stiff now I can hardly move. I beseech you to accelerate your step.
I should like to oblige you, lady, but my clothes are rather heavy. And 100 yards an hour is my top speed. Indeed, I think we would better sit down here on this snowdrift and talk matters over.
Do not do so, I beg. Let us move along. I feel myself growing rigid as it is. If we stop here, I shall be frozen stiff.
That, madam, is precisely why I brought you here. We have been on this spot just 10 minutes, and we have 50 more before your hour ends. Well, take your time about it, madam, but freeze. That is all I ask of you.
I cannot move my right leg now, and my overskirt is a solid sheet of ice. Oh, good, kind Mr. Oglethorpe, light a fire and let me go free from these icy feathers.
Never, madam. I have you at last, and I plan to keep you.
Alas, help me, I beg. I congeal.
Congeal, madam, congeal. You have drenched me and mine for over 200 years, madam, and tonight you have had your last drench.
Ah, but I shall thaw out again, and then you'll see. Instead of the comfortably tepid, genial ghost I have been in my past, sir, I shall be ice water.
No, you won't either. For when you are frozen quite stiff, I shall send you to a cold storage warehouse, and there you shall remain an icy work of art forevermore.
But warehouses burn.
So they do. But this warehouse cannot burn. Well, it's made of asbestos, and surrounding it are fireproof walls.
For the last time, I beseech you, I would go on my knees to you, Oglethorpe, were they not already frozen. I beg of you, do not doom me.
I do feel for you, miss, but I feel for myself more.
Delivery was made, and all is well. The room has been sealed, and that, as they say, is that.
I'm almost at a loss.
What? Why?
If you have an obstacle for such a long time, then it's gone. What can be left?
Your mother still wishes for grandchildren.
Now that all good families will have me over again?
You are now not only rich and titled and eligible, you are also known to have single-handedly defeated an ancestral ghost. You are quite the talk of the town. Parents will be lining up to introduce their marriageable daughters to you.
I think I can save them the trouble.
What do you mean?
There is something very alluring about a person who will stand by you through thick and thin.
You're still upset. They wouldn't have anything to do with you while you were haunted.
I shan't pay any mind to what they did, just what you did.
Pardon?
Are you not interested in being the mistress of Harrowby Hall? There is an opening in that position.
Me? Marry you?
If not you, my next best option is to thaw out the ghost and make an honest woman of her. I'm reasonably certain we're far removed that it would be legal.
You're quite serious? About me, not her?
Of course. About you, not her.
Of course.
Once again, we must sign off.
and go our separate ways.
But we'll be here.
Again next month.
Let's call it a date.
Tonight's episode, The Water Ghost of Harrowby Hall, was written by John Kendrick Bangs and adapted by Julie Hoverson. In tonight's episode, Edward Oglethorpe was Gareth Bowley, Leslie Ridrington was Tansy Undercrypt of Precarious Audio. The Ghost was Gwendolyn Jensen-Woodard of Gypsy Audio. Henry Oglethorpe was John Lingard. Edward's mother Lydia Oglethorpe was Jennifer Dixon. And Christina, the vapid American, was Julie Hoverson. Sound and mastering was done by Scott Pigg with a little help from Julie Hoverson. Music for this episode was by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. Sound effects were from the Free Sound Project. Happy holidays to everybody from all of us here at 19 Nocturne Boulevard. The opening and closing credits used the music of The Entertainer by Scott Joplin, available through amclassical.com, and the opening voices included Glenn Hallstrom, Tanya Milajevic, Gwendolyn Jensen-Woodard, Lothar Tuppen, Julie Hoverson, and Carrie Ayers. Russell Gold was the announcer. This is distributed under the Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike Non-Commercial Clauses. Feel free to pass it around, but don't try to make money on it. This is copyright 2011 to Julie Hoverson and Reality Productions.